you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dave Letterman, your humble host for the proceedings tonight, and thank you for joining us both here in our studio and in your very own home there. Ha, ha, ha! I tell you, New York City gets stranger and stranger. Listen to this now. Negotiators, they're going right down to the wire on this. There's a threatened pickets strike here in New York City. Now, union leaders say that unless they have a new contract by midnight, they're ordering their members to put down their signs and go home.
Yeah, it's on. It's on.
A threatened pickets strike, you see? And unless the contract is signed, they're going to send the members home. They put down their signs. Ah, yes. And that's what editing is all about. Thank you. Let's see. What do you think, Kevin? 2? I don't know. All right, I'll try 2. If you believe the United States government didn't have anything to do with the plane that was shot down in Nicaragua a couple of days ago, you probably believe that the Russian nuclear submarine that sank off our coast was just out there trying to save whales. But you know... You know what we do here? Paul, what are you doing?
Making the sound of the ocean rushing across the...
Well, we'll talk to Paul later. The city of New York says that it has a brilliant new transportation idea. They want to take 3 unused, now retired Staten Island ferry boats and convert them into much-needed jails. It's a new idea. They take a Staten Island ferry full of criminals, and that's a new idea? I'm sorry, I thought... Our director, Hal Gurney, now making the same noise Paul was making earlier. All right, let's get it out of our systems. We'll all make the damn noise now, okay? The ocean rushing, Paul,
yeah.
Is it? Okay. Big uproar here in New York over recent revelations that 9 city high schools have been providing contraceptives to students without telling their parents. See, that's not the attitude to take. So now school officials have agreed to a compromise. They will continue to give out free contraceptives, but they'll be provided for use only in... Let me see what I did wrong there exactly. So, school officials have agreed to a compromise. Here's where my mouth went south, right in there. Agreed to a compromise. Free contraceptives will... Follow along at home, by the way. Free contraceptives will be provided only for sex in the classroom. God bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you. You've made me a very, very happy man. Kids, we have a great show for you tonight, although I know it would be tough to prove so far, but we do. Put that back in your wallet, will you, Bill? We have a wonderfully funny and lovely woman. She is Tracy Ullman, a charming actress from Great Britain. She is here tonight, and a very funny young man, Jerry Seinfeld, will be with us on this program. Paul, anything you want to add before we roll on here?
Just the sound of the...
No, Paul.
Okay, no, absolutely nothing.
Now, why did you do that exactly?
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
No,
well,
because there was just kind of a
question.
silence, you know, after you told that one joke and stuff, and I thought, you know.
So you thought you'd highlight it for me? Like maybe I didn't notice the silence.
Well...
You'd help call my attention to the dead air.
No, that's not. Just
what
was trying
a pal, huh?
You know, you don't want dead air. We both know from our radio experience. You fill it in.
Kids, man's quest for knowledge has taken him from the center of the atom to the starry edges of the galaxy itself. Now, why this endless probing into the unknown? Well, I think it's because most of us have really screwed up personal lives. Whatever the reason, let's now explore some of the wonders of our universe in the Museum of Science. Is that the right music for the Museum of Science? I think that's the Hard to Believe Museum, isn't it? Thank you very much, Paul. Well, here we are in the Museum of Science. just a short walk from where we were earlier. You know, recently physicists discovered a new fundamental force in nature more powerful than gravity or even magnetism. It's the attraction between actor Philip Michael Thomas and a mirror. Watch this. Here we have a photograph of the actor himself. We'll just turn it around. There's the mirror, and whoa, look at that. It's... Are we here for this? You know, until recently, the nanosecond was defined as the time it takes a beam of argon light to travel 1 meter. That's what we have right here. It's the shortest measurable unit of time. Since 1980, however, there has been a new official definition of the nanosecond. It's the time between the release of a new Dudley Moore film and the time and the time that the set collapses. The time between the release of a new Dudley Moore film and the time it's shown on airplanes. Did I turn it the wrong way? Is that what happened? Supposed to go? I turned it the wrong way? I did turn it the right way. Well, good. If reduced to their constituent elements, the chemicals in the human body would be worth approximately $5.83. However, there is an exception. Right here. The chemicals that once made up the body of David Crosby had an estimated street value of nearly $350,000. How do you do? Nice to see you.
Hello. Nice
You're
to
in the
see you.
Museum of Science?
No, I'm not here at all. I have nothing to do with the museum. I'm here giving out free samples of low-sodium Spam. Would you like to try a piece?
Well, sure. Yeah, I
Sure,
might as well.
It's really quite delicious.
Thank you very much.
In fact, you know, it's a perfect snack or a convenient meal. You can have it fried for breakfast
Fried, yeah.
instead of bacon, or my favorite is to mix it up with a big bowl of noodles and have it while watching TV.
I wish I was doing that now.
Hi, aren't you Regis Philbin?
No, I'm Gary Collins. Thank you. Okay. I have a mouthful of low-sodium Spam. Boy, it's like a weekend off. It'll be gone in a couple of days, don't worry. All right, here we go. Geologists at Exxon are working on a project that should meet America's petroleum needs well into the 21st century. How? Well, simply by, low-sodium Spam. Simply by extracting high-grade crude oil from the head of Jerry Lewis. Run for your lives, it's a gusher. No, hold it. Don't get it. You want to get that on your Spam. You get oil on your Spam, you've got your hands full. Everyone understands the principles of jet propulsion, and we're all familiar with the way the Earth revolves on its axis. However, few people realize you can actually alter both of these with two simple devices. Thank you very much for the lab coat. I'll slip into this. By the way, anyone in the studio audience tonight wearing rayon probably want to turn away for a couple of moments while we do this for you. Now, I need this device over here. All right, let me just pick that up.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in the Museum of Science, you were to see a phony NBC News bulletin featuring the nationally known newsman Bob Jameson. The purpose of this was to beef up what we all agreed was a lame piece of comedy. An hour before this telecast began taping, word was received in Studio 6A from the highest levels of NBC News that there could be no fake news bulletins or interruptions staged for comic purposes, even though we had done the exact same thing once before. This decision was made by Lawrence Grossman, president of the network's news division. We here at Late Night believe Mr. Grossman is the one man responsible for the fact that tonight's show isn't funnier. We can't ask that you write or phone him. If you ever pass him on the street, you might just say, "Hey, nice going, dork." We now return to the Museum of Science, already in progress.
Okay. And there you have it. It's really quite simple when you think about it. And ladies and gentlemen, that's our visit to the Museum of Science. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
There are chicks
Yeah!
Just waiting for kissing.
What are you doing? Oh.
Little
And
thing-
our thanks to Lawrence Grossman, president of NBC News, for making everything possible tonight. NBC News controls this network, by the way.
The news
The
department.
news department, anything they want, they can come right in and say, no, don't do that. But you think that we could call up and say, don't run that story about Chernobyl or something? No,
No.
we couldn't do that. By the way, one other quick announcement. There's something wrong with the elevators here at 30 Rockefeller Plaza. You can't get on or off an elevator. It takes you like 8 minutes to get from the 14th floor to the 6th floor, and it drops and jiggles and bounces, and the doors open, and then they sort of not open, and then they reopen in the middle, and big greasy flywheels are flying by. People are shrieking and gasping. If I plunge to my death in an elevator here at 30 Rock, I want everybody out there to file a class action suit, okay? Have you noticed that to be true, Paul?
Well, I don't come to the building too much.
Oh,
Just,
And I guess when you do come here, you take the stairs up here to the 6th floor.
no, but it's really, the studio elevators are all right? It's really the office elevators.
Yeah. What did I say?
Well, I don't have an office or anything, so, you know, I don't use
Well,
it.
you have one, you just don't use it. Yeah, that little corner of my office. we have your little table, your little chair, everything is right in it.
I know. It's just a little card table in the corner of your office is just, I don't know.
But no, come up and use it. Do some of your paperwork up there. We'd love to have you.
One of the legs is shorter than the other leg. And it wobbles.
You know, no, it's fine. Our friend, now, are you going to take it? I don't want to hold it because...
Come on, you've got to change their diapers.
no, we're not
baby.
changing. No, we're not changing anything.
Got them all
No,
here.
don't. No,
got to change the
what is the
diaper.
baby's name?
Mabel Ellen
Hi, Mabel.
McEwen.
What a sweet-looking baby. She's lovely.
gorgeous?
Now, is this actually your baby or an actress?
The Mabel McEwen dolly. Mama,
Boy, she's sweet.
Dada,
Okay,
Dada.
no, it's-
Yes, you didn't know, did you?
Okay.
She's lovely. She's
she is
going
lovely.
to her nanny now.
Oh, good.
Something you all must have when you have a baby.
Your very first baby girl.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, here's a good reminder. If you can't be with us tonight, be with us tomorrow night because we got a great show then as well. Listen to this lineup. Mr. Magician. That's his name? Mr. Magician won't be on tonight. Apparently, he's disappeared. He's vanished. We looked in the box and we couldn't find him, and he's gone. Nothing but dead birds inside and no trace of Mr. Magician. So instead of Mr. Magician tomorrow, Martin Mull, a very funny and talented man, will be with us. There's nothing wrong with tonight's show, all right? And also, this is going to be great. Right, Paul? Eddie Money and Ronnie Spector tomorrow here on our program. Okay? Huh? That's right. Okay, now on to other pleasant matters. What changes can we look forward to in the world of television? Well, almost certainly there will be more Atlanta Braves games, but we can also expect to see more computer-generated TV personalities. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present our warm spit attempt to cash in on a trend, Larry Bud Headroom. Okay, Larry.
My skull really hurts.
Okay.
I may pass out at any minute.
Okay, hang on, Larry. I have to make a couple of announcements here. First, accommodations for Mr. Bud Headroom have been provided by Manhattan Warehouse and Mini Storage in exchange for this promotional announcement. Second, Mr. Bud Headroom is available for church and social groups, though he tends to hang around afterwards and has to be told to leave. And finally, children who would like to sit on Mr. Bud Headroom's lap are seriously disturbed and should be given professional help as soon as possible. All right, go ahead, Larry.
Hey, hello.
Oh, God.
I'm Larry Bud Headroom.
Yes.
I'm here to answer your question about personal financial matters and affairs of the heart. Let's get right to the first one, please. I've only got enough air for about 5 minutes.
Okay, Larry, you had a drink at lunch, right?
Yes.
Okay, who has the first question for Mr. Bud Headroom this evening? Hi, how are you? Stand up, please. What is your name?
Gloria Finkelstein.
Gloria?
Yes.
And your last name again?
Finkelstein.
Finkelstein. Nice to have you here. And where do you live?
In Riverdale, New York.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a project manager for a medical publishing company.
I don't know what that means, but I'll take your word for it. Do you have a question for Mr. Bud Headroom?
Sure. How do you make $1 million?
Oh, good question, Larry.
Listen, Gloria. Money doesn't buy happiness. Venus doesn't cement. whose pursuit of money has left them wealthy, but alone. And here's the important point. These lonely men will pay top dollar for the company of ladies like yourself. It won't be easy. Most of the men are repulsive. But you'll soon have that million you long for. Bob Rooney, please give this nice person an assortment of General Electric fluorescent tubes.
Hope you enjoy the light bulb. Nice to meet you. Larry, are you having trouble with your spine?
Not really. I'm usually this way.
Okay. Somebody fasten the restraints, please. Who has the next question for Mr. Headroom? How do you do, sir? What is your name?
Brandon Maxwell.
Nice to see you, Brandon. What do you do for a living?
Well, I'm a marketing research specialist at a major finance firm here in New York.
Okay, great. And we're just about done shaking hands. What is your question for Mr. Headroom?
Well, Mr. Headroom, when I was down in Rio de Janeiro with my brother Russell recently...
oh, Russell, yeah. Drag Russell into this.
He got me the tickets.
Okay, you and Russell are in Rio. Yeah, right.
And I noticed that the water swirls down the drain in the opposite direction
that's
than
right,
it
I've
does
heard
up
that.
here in New York.
Yeah.
Why is that, Mr. Headroom?
Rio. A magic place where they dance the samba, eat bark, and worship monkeys as gods. Listen, pal, you're lucky. You got out of that hellhole before the heathens cut off your ears for trash and forced you to make with jaguars. I know someone that happened to, but I can't mention his name. All right, it was Ted Koppel. Bob Rooney, please give this
Nice meeting you. Good luck,
person
Brandon.
an
Thanks for being here. Here's your General Electric fluorescent light
tube.
bulb assortment. There we go. One more, quickly. Who has the last question? Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. What is your name?
Andrea Giannetti.
Where are you from, Andrea?
I'm from Boston.
Boston?
I'm a student at Emerson College.
Oh, nice to have you here. And you have a question for Mr. Headroom?
Yeah, I'm having problems attending class, and I was wondering if you could give me some advice on how to motivate myself.
Oh, good question.
Emerson! You go to Emerson?
Yeah.
Why? I'm an old Emerson man. Can you still get those frosty tankards at the Red Skeller? And do they still fill the pool with grain alcohol on Wednesday nights? And do kids still smash all the windows in the library just as soon as they're replaced? Boy, good old Emerson. By the way, they threw me out after 2 weeks. They'll probably do the same to you. Bob Rooney, please give this nice person an assortment of General Electric.
There you go.
fluorescent tubes.
Nice meeting you. Sorry you had to sit through that. Oh, my. We'll be right back. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, I'm Dave, and I'll be officiating the festivities here for the next 60 minutes. And we like to think tonight, more than any other night perhaps in a long, long time, tonight we really think we really have quite a show.
Yes,
Well,
we
I
do.
have a dilemma here. I feel like I want to do my impression of Sparky Anderson, but
Yes,
also...
please.
No.
Listening.
I also feel like maybe I've given it too much exposure.
No.
Because I've done it now twice on the big show here.
It's still on the upswing.
You think so?
I think you could expose it
Now-
1 or 2 more times.
Now, the only reason I say this is because I can't go anywhere in this great city anymore without people coming up to me and saying, do Sparky for us. Anyway,
a little
so,
Sparky.
okay, I'll do it, and then you won't see it again. I know at home you're bored by this, but believe me, the folks have come from all over the country, and they want to see it. We have a woman here living at the airport who came to see our show. Do we have something we can give to this lady? Can we see about getting her something? What would you like? You have money for dinner now because you've sold your ticket, right? We get these, the people get tickets, they write in for these tickets, and then they're actually worthless. You're not supposed to do anything. They're free, right? The tickets are essentially free. And she sold hers off for like 10 bucks, and so now she's going to have a lovely meal at Tad's or somewhere tonight.
Can I come to your house tonight?
Yes, you can, of course, by all means. I was just going to suggest, come, please. Better put a tail on her, boys. What is your name, by the way, ma'am? I feel terribly about this.
Lisa McDaniel.
Is that a real name, Lisa? I think that may be an alias. I think that is an... Yeah, that's why we have you in shadows, because we do not want to divulge your actual identity. Okay, anyway, here, Sparky Anderson. Then we'll just get on with this great show. And if you've seen it before, bear with me, and perhaps this time look for certain nuances you perhaps missed. Here we go, Sparky Anderson listening to a question in a post-game interview. You know, I'm actually sick of it myself, but I'm in here now, and it goes...
Sparky Anderson.
That's right, and it goes
listening.
Something like this. And of course, I do that in lieu of any real talent or material. Bess Meyerson. Oh, this is getting to be a very strange, sad, sordid... And I see she has all of your sympathy. Bess Meyerson, former Miss America and a figure about town here in New York City, has been indicted now for bribing a judge in order to try and get her boyfriend a better deal on his alimony settlements. Now, this is very strange. If she's found guilty now, she could serve up to 30 years in prison. And if for any reason she can't serve the time in jail, then, oddly enough, Miss Georgia would step in and finish up the... I keep looking at my head because I joined the hair club today, and not so much for the hair, just the social functions they have. Get to meet Cy Sperling. There's some lovely mixers there. Well, this Republican presidential campaign is really heating up now, isn't it? Today, apparently, we learned... Nah, I don't think so. And then the other thing, I can't believe this. Bork now. Bork is so desperate. Did you see this in the news today? His last desperate plea? He says, hey, look, if it's the beard, I'll lose it. We'll get you something lovely. Don't worry. We'll get you some... The hug was good. I hugged this woman, and I enjoyed it myself. Yes, it's Mr. Musical Q himself. Fred Willard is here, a delightful woman who has an herb plantation in Connecticut. Well, maybe you misunderstood. Adelma Simmons is her name, and also a very funny guy, Jake Johansson. Now, here he is. You know him, Paul Schaefer. Say hello, Paul.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. You know, Dave, I was thinking about something today, and it made me feel kind of good. I was
What's
thinking
that, Paul?
about, well, I was thinking that this coming Saturday, you and I will celebrate 5 years and 8 months together, which is kind of, very proud of that.
Thank you. I couldn't be more proud of my own
5 years,
self.
it's very rare. It's rare.
It is rare to be celebrating
rare in this industry for people to, you know, they say a thing like that isn't supposed to happen.
5 years, 8 months.
5 years, 8 months.
Yeah.
You and I together.
You know, if you could have waited maybe 4 months, we could have celebrated 6 years. Just round it off, or maybe 2 months earlier, it would have been 5.5 years. But you selected, and I feel rather arbitrarily, 5 and 8.
5 years, 8 months.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
It's not.
Paul is doing this because he and I had this is actually the only fight Paul and I have ever had since we've been doing the show, and it turned out to be pretty ugly.
I don't even
And
want
he's just trying to make up to me tonight for it. But I think you're wrong, and I still stand by what I said earlier. Cosby is the funniest damn show on TV. So
I don't even want to get into what started the feud at all, you know, whatever
Let's
you
see
say.
if this is that working at all? All right, we have to move along. We have a wonderful show. Fred Willard is here tonight, and also Jake Johansson and the
Dave,
woman with
I'm
her herbs
so,
from up in
let me
Connecticut.
say I'm so relieved that
What's
we
that,
didn't.
Paul?
Well, I'm relieved that we didn't see, you know, the you-know-what in the
Oh, yeah.
fancy
Paul is
clothes.
under the opinion that the last couple of nights he's seen some sort of apparition here in the fountain.
Well,
But you just need a little rest.
Well, I know.
Your eyes were playing tricks on
I was
you.
a little overtired.
No,
when
believe me, there's no vision there to... Oh, my God, what was that?
Dave.
What is it, Biff?
The coffee,
What?
the
What?
coffee machine.
What are you
backstage.
trying to tell us, Biff?
Coffee machine.
Some kind of problem. Hal, could we get a shot of the coffee machine backstage? Biff is beside himself. What is going on back there?
Take a look.
Okay, here it is, the coffee machine. See, I think that's just some kind of swamp gas.
Yeah, you know, it could be the aurora borealis.
That's
you know,
right.
the northern lights.
Yeah.
To get that up in Canada.
It's nothing. Shoot,
Clear
relax,
night.
forget
Nothing.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because this place was built on an old Indian burial ground, I don't... Let's do our top 10 list tonight, and reading our top 10 list for us tonight, we've been doing this the last few nights, from the New York Mets, ladies and gentlemen, out of their starting rotation, the fireballing left-hander, Bob Ojeda. Bob, are you in there? Out there, come in. Bob, good to see you. Pleasure to meet you. Do you have a copy of it?
I got my own.
That's your own copy, okay.
And it just might be wet.
We know you're probably interested in getting your off-season underway, but we appreciate you coming by here tonight. From the home office in Scottsdale, Arizona, the category...
The category is the top 10 slogans of the Scab NFL.
All right, top 10 slogans now of the Scab NFL. Here we go. Bob Ojeda.
Number 10, we're not football players, but we play them on TV.
Number 10.
Number 9, come for the refund and stay for the game.
Yeah.
Number 8, bring a helmet and join the fun.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, get spit on by Lawrence Taylor. Number 6, it still beats arena football.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
You didn't? Oh, you missed it. Arena football.
missed that.
Yeah, you were working. Sure.
Number 5, out-of-condition athletes guarantee plenty of injuries.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 4, we have a fine selection of magazines. Number 3, look, it's my old gym teacher. Okay. Number 2, enough beer and you won't know the difference.
Right. Number
And
1.
the number 1,
Here we go.
Scab NFL slogan is,
Bob Ojeda. Very nice man.
A lovely guy.
Fireballing left-hander.
So I hear, yeah.
Yeah. I wish someone would say that about me. Well, thank you very much, Will.
Will
I
just said
appreciate
it
that.
about you. You are.
We have time for this? Oh, this is great. These are, ladies and gentlemen, right here, brand new services you can get on your telephone. You know, dial the weather, dial a joke, dial whatever. Well, we have new services now that if you have a phone and you live in this country, you'll probably be being badgered shortly to purchase these. These are little new dial-it services. Paul? Dial-it services. That's enough. Okay. I'm not exactly Emmett Kelly here, okay? Looking for a little inspiration, why not dial the immortal words of Abraham Lincoln? See, that's a new dial-it service. Dial
the words of Abraham Lincoln.
Exactly.
That's a good service.
Thank you, Ed. Dial the words, the immortal words of Abraham Lincoln. There we go. See what happens here. The immortal words of Abraham
Hello,
Lincoln.
Joe Biden speaking.
Now, we had to do some digging to get this one. This is Dial Jimmy the Weasel Fradiano's home number. Jimmy the Weasel Fradiano's home number. And I don't know what I'd do without this prop phone. Oh, damn, I misdialed. Okay, here it is.
I mean, hello?
This one sounds exciting. Dial a water ski show from the Persian Gulf. Dial a water ski show from the Persian Gulf. See that coming up 6th Avenue. Here we go. If we're lucky, this next one will be a setup followed by a joke. That's about even money tonight, though, isn't it? It's Dial the most popular question heard in 1987. This, so far, has been the most frequently asked question.
Didn't you used to be a Democratic presidential candidate?
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Dial a nasty rumor about Paul Schaefer.
Ah.
It's quiet in here, isn't it?
Well,
Dial a nasty rumor about Paul Schaefer. Here we go.
Interested in what this might
Paul Schaefer is nothing like he appears on TV. In fact, he's an egocentric little tyrant who treats the other members of the band like dirt.
Wow. That voice sounded very familiar. Anton, did you recognize that voice, Anton? You know who that was?
I have no idea. I think it sounded a little like Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. Michael Caine. Here's one for sports fans that lets them feel right inside the action. It's Dial an NFL Huddle. How are we doing? Dial an NFL Huddle. Okay. Dial an NFL Huddle. Here we go.
Okay, call it in the air.
I'll take heads.
Heads it is. You can be quarterback. Hey, the quarterback last time. I want to be quarterback.
Here's a taste of travel and adventure for the entire family. Dial the cockpit of a transatlantic flight. Dialing the cockpit of a transatlantic flight. Probably a 747 or other similar craft.
What the hell? Do you know what time it is? I was sound asleep.
People sleeping. Sleeping. Flight crew.
I see.
Did I mention sleeping? Okay. How many more of these are we going to do?
2 more.
Geez, 2 more. I'm exhausted already. How long have we been on? Good Lord. Is there any way we can skip one of these? Can we skip one or not? No, we can't.
Cannot.
Damn, we're committed to this. Okay, here's an interesting service. It's Dial a Dog's Worst Nightmare. Dial a Dog's Worst Nightmare. These are all new dial-it services that may be coming to your area.
It's an interesting service. Dial a Dog's Worst Nightmare.
Thanks, Ed. Excuse me, can you tell me where the obedience school exam? You must be mistaken. The exam was yesterday.